What is poppin', everyone? My name is Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice because that is my nickname. So the Buffalo Bills have traded for Pro Bowl wide receiver Stefon Diggs, okay? You know, the Buffalo Bills, they send a couple draft picks to the Vikings. In fact, they sent a first-round pick, a fifth and a sixth-round pick in 2020, and a fourth-round pick in 2021, while also getting a 2020 seventh-round pick in return from the Vikings in this trade. So the Vikings basically get a first-round draft pick and a bunch of other draft picks, you know, in return for Stefon Diggs heading to the Buffalo Bills. And right off the bat, this just makes Bill O'Brien look even more stupid based on the trade that he made, sending DeAndre Hopkins to the Arizona Cardinals, acting as the Texans general manager. Bill O'Brien, I've never really supported him as a head coach, and quite frankly, as the general manager of the Houston Texans, I do not think he knows what he's doing. The Texans need to fire that man immediately, and they need to get a real general manager in there to support the Texans and to make actual real football decisions that make sense. If they don't do so, I believe they're going to waste Deshaun Watson's career. If I'm Deshaun Watson, I feel very sorry for him. But either way, we're not talking about the Texans. We're talking about the Vikings and the Bills. I actually think this is a win for both sides. You know, the Minnesota Vikings, let's start off quickly with them. To get a first-round pick back for Stefon Diggs, to me, that's a win. You know, Stefon Diggs, he has some chemistry issues with Kirk Cousins. He was not always the most adamant player supporting Kirk Cousins in that locker room. He's kind of a diva wide receiver. At least that's what some people have called him in the past. He's kind of acting immature on the sidelines. I don't like his body language during games. He's always, you know, yelling and pouting when he doesn't get the ball, which I don't understand. I've even seen in some games in which the Vikings are up by a bunch of points. When he doesn't get the ball, he pouts on the sideline. That's not very appropriate behavior. So if he's in Buffalo, I do believe Stefon Diggs is going to have to change his ways, because Sean McDermott and that team, the way they operate, you know, their culture and the way they run their team, it's a team first mentality. It's not about me, it's about we in Buffalo. So Stefon Diggs is going to have to, you know, give up his ego a little bit. But either way, the Vikings, if you're going to lose a marquee wide receiver, you know, they were potentially looking to move on from him. Their cap situation is not great. It's improved now because they've cleared up some cap space by moving on from Stefon Diggs. You know, they have a lot of big name players that are on big time contracts. So the Vikings, they've been unloading some players this offseason. So again, I understand why the Vikings moved on from Stefon Diggs. They got the appropriate amount of things back for Stefon Diggs, okay? Now, as far as the Buffalo Bills go, I love this move, and I love this trade for the Bills. This is exactly what the Buffalo Bills needed. You know, I'm making a mock draft, you know, which I'm going to release in the next week or so. And I had the Buffalo Bills taking a wide receiver with their 23rd overall pick. But now that they have a guy like Stefon Diggs, who to me is a number one wide receiver on a couple teams, I do think that on some teams he would probably be a number two. He's not a Julio Jones, not a Michael Thomas, not a DeAndre Hopkins, but he's a capable number one wide receiver. And I believe that the Buffalo Bills' biggest need this offseason was wide receiver. I think that John Brown is a very good, solid player, but I do think that he's a number two and number three on most teams. Okay, I think Cole Beasley is a pretty productive player. He came in and did some good things for them, but he's a number three at best, okay? You know, I just think that they needed more playmakers on the outside to help out Josh Allen. I don't think Josh Allen is the greatest quarterback in the world. I think Josh Allen has a lot of potential, but again, he's not the most natural thrower of the football. He made a lot of strides this year. I'm not giving up on Josh Allen. I'm not saying Josh Allen is terrible, but either way, Josh Allen is one of those quarterbacks where he needs another wide receiver or two to make him look better than he is. I don't ever see Josh Allen being this quarterback that can just elevate below average wide receivers consistently. I just don't see him being that player, and that's fine because I think Josh Allen is clearly a franchise quarterback. The only question is how good of a franchise quarterback can he be? He showed a lot of flashes this year. I'm very interested to see what steps he takes in his third season as a starter. I love the Buffalo Bills running back, Devin Singletary. I think he could be a star one day. Their defense, I think that the defense is very good. They added Mario Addison a couple, days ago. He had nine and a half sacks last year. A veteran pass rusher. Okay, the secondary is very good with Tre'Davious White. I love the linebacker core led by Tremaine Edmonds. Okay, so I like all three levels of their defense. I think they got a star defensive tackle in Ed Oliver. So they got their defensive tackle group pretty much figured out. They got their linebacker core pretty much figured out. I love their secondary. So all three levels of their defense, I like, okay? And on offense, this past season, they retooled the entire offensive line. So they got the offensive line fixed. They got a franchise quarterback that they like, that's young, that's improving, getting better. And they got a star running back. The only thing that they really needed to make their team potentially really get over the top was another wide receiver. The Buffalo Bills last year, they were 23rd in points per game on offense, and they had the 26th ranked passing attack last year, okay? What Stefon Diggs provides is a guy that can be Josh Allen's go-to number one wide receiver, and he's a guy that can beat man coverage and win one-on-one matchups versus some number one cornerbacks, okay? At times, the Buffalo Bills, when they lost games, they struggled to move the football. Stefon Diggs allows the Buffalo Bills offense to really, truly just open up. They need a big-time playmaker on the outside besides John Brown and besides Cole Beasley and Dawson Knox and those other tight ends that I like on their team. I like their tight ends, okay? Stefon Diggs he averaged 17.9 yards per catch last year. He had over 1,000 yards, and that was with Adam Thielen not playing most of the season. So Stefon Diggs has shown he can, win one-on-one matchups despite, taking on the best number one corner of the opposing team. I really like this move. I think he fits right in with the Buffalo Bills scheme. He's a very good route runner, very precise in the short and intermediate routes. But I think the best thing that Stefon Diggs does is run deep post routes. He loves to run those go routes. He can get down the field and stretch the defense. He can beat you over the top. And I think that Josh Allen is at his best when he's bombing the ball down the field. Josh Allen is not necessarily a precision quarterback, meaning he's not one of those quarterbacks that you always ask to throw a bunch of short passes, throw a lot of check downs. He can do those things. He's gotten better in the short and intermediate game, but Josh Allen is at his best when he's pushing the ball down the field and taking deep shots down the field and making big plays outside the pocket. So I think that Stefon Diggs really puts this Buffalo Bills team over the top. I got a sense that the Buffalo Bills would probably, in my opinion, be the favorites next year to win the AFC East. Even if Tom Brady returned, I was kind of leaning toward picking the Buffalo Bills to win the AFC East next year. As of right now, based on what the Patriots have in front of them as far as their roster goes, no Tom Brady, Kyle Van Noy, Jamie Collins leaving, I think the Buffalo Bills have a real shot to win this division next year. And I said that once Tom Brady retires or leaves the Patriots, I said this around Thanksgiving and in the offseason, I said the Buffalo Bills are the team that's going to run this division the next 5 to 6, 7 years. I don't see Miami, even though they potentially could add a quarterback in the draft, I don't see them dominating this division. And I don't see the New York Jets, who are, building something on defense and have a decent quarterback in Sam Darnold. But I just don't see the New York Jets competing year to year with the Buffalo Bills once this Bills team puts it all together. I just think that I think the Buffalo Bills are going all for it, I really do. I like their mentality. I do think they probably gave up just a little bit too much for my liking in this trade. But again, hey, we've seen, the Dallas Cowboys pay Amari Cooper $20 million per year to retain him. Wide receivers are kind of expensive. At times, you're going to have to give up an extra draft pick or two to get that playmaking wide receiver that your team needs. I love this move for the Buffalo Bills. It fills a huge need. And now they can use the 23rd overall pick on potentially another pass rusher or potentially another weapon to add to the offense, led by Stefon Diggs, led by Devin Singletary, led by, Cole Beasley, with Dawson Knox and those boys. So again, I love the direction the Buffalo Bills are going in. They've drafted very well on both offense and defense, and now this is where you bring your kill shots, okay? After you start drafting well and building your team and establishing a culture, that's when you start to make these free agency moves and trade for these skill position players, okay? It's best to always build the infrastructure of your team through the draft, and then when you realize you are going to be able to compete for something, that's when you start trading for the star wide receiver and making moves in free agency. So I love this move for the Buffalo Bills. I think it's going to benefit their offense a lot next year. I think they have a chance to win 11, 12 games if they put it all together. And I do believe that Stefon Diggs and Josh Allen can really work things out. Now, again, Stefon Diggs is going to have to change his attitude a little bit. Now, he did get mad at Kirk Cousins when Kirk Cousins was not playing very well. Josh Allen is a very, talented quarterback. I think he has some arm talent. He has potential, but at times he makes mistakes. At times he misses some throws. So I'm going to be very interested to see how Stefon Diggs responds to Josh Allen if he's struggling. Is he going to still buy into the team? I don't know, but either way, this is a move that I would 100% make if I was the Buffalo Bills general manager. I think they hit it out the park with this move, and I do believe that this move gives the Buffalo Bills a chance to really make some noise in 2020. And I will not be shocked if they are Super Bowl contenders next year. This was an excellent move for the Buffalo Bills. Be sure to comment where you agree with me and disagree with me. Love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. A fun fact about me is I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. Kind of like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You get the point. Okay, I want to do sports, television, and radio for a full living once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. So the best thing you guys can do to just help me continue to grow as a young broadcaster is to just share this channel with all your friends, because potentially if this channel really gets somewhere, I want to start my own network, okay? Or potentially if it doesn't, or if I fall a little bit short, I want to go into a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. So the best thing you guys can do to just flat out just help me grow as a broadcaster, help me learn, get other people hip to this channel, just share this channel with all your friends, share this channel on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And once again, guys, just share this channel with everyone you know. Get everyone hipped and watching these videos. Get my voice out there and heard. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in today. I really do. Have a God blessed day. Stay motivated, you guys, and I'm out.